Chapter 1. The Lady Boss has arrived. The Gu Esports Club headquarters was nothing like what Jiaoyang had imagined. Instead of a sleek, futuristic gaming temple, it looked like a glorified bachelor pad with LED lights and the faint smell of instant noodles lingering in the air. She wrinkled her nose delicately and adjusted her sunglasses. This is it. The top-ranked esports team in the country lives here. A rookie player, barely out of his teens and munching on a banana, looked up from the couch. Who are you? Delivery. Wrong guess, she said sweetly, stepping over a pile of energy drink cans. I'm Jiaoyang. Fiancé of your boss. Future lady boss. Maybe future mother of your children, depending on how fast your captain proposes. Beanie, the rookie choked on his banana. Yichen, he shouted, stumbling out of the living room like his life depended on it. Gu Yichen emerged from a side room, looking as cold and annoyed as always. His black hoodie had the club logo embroidered over his heart, and his headset hung loosely around his neck. What are you doing here? He asked flatly. Jiaoyang took off her sunglasses in slow motion, as if she were starring in her own K-drama. Fulfilling my childhood destiny. You see, our families decided we'd be together. I figured, why not start the honeymoon phase early? The team gathered around, whispering and watching like it was a live stream. Blaze elbowed Mint and muttered, she's way too hot to be real. You think she's trolling? If this is a prank, it's the most beautiful one I've ever seen, Mint said, filming discreetly. Yichen's eyes narrowed. You came all the way here because of some outdated engagement agreement? Don't flatter yourself. I came because I like a challenge. Also, your mom sent me. The temperature in the room dropped by a few degrees. Go back. Can't. I brought my suitcase, Jiaoyang said, pointing at her pastel pink luggage standing proudly in the middle of the messy living room. I already canceled my lease. The room exploded. She's moving in. Do we even have a guest room? She can take Beanie's bed. He still sleeps in a race car blanket. Yichen pinched the bridge of his nose. You're insane. Jiaoyang grinned. You'll find that I'm persistently insane. That night, Jiaoyang was not officially, installed as the club's honorary guest. The team took it as an opportunity to initiate her. They taught her how to order midnight fried chicken without crashing the team's food app. They taught her how to curse like a proper gamer. She ended up saying, your mom is a hamster, and they nearly died laughing. And they started calling her Lady Boss. Jiaoyang took to the title like a fish to water. She knocked on Yichen's door around midnight, holding a tray of milk tea and egg tarts. I read that sugar helps with focus. Also, I may or may not have bribed your teammates into giving me courting strategies. He didn't open the door. She slid the tray through the crack anyway and skipped off humming. Inside, Gu Yichen stared at the tray for a long time. Then he ate the egg tart. The next morning, the Gu Esports Club had a new morning ritual. Pretend not to be invested in the blossoming sitcom that was Jiaoyang's romantic siege. And somewhere deep in his stubborn heart, Gu Yichen started wondering, what the hell was she going to do next? Chapter 2. Operation Seduce the Boss. Jiaoyang's presence at the Gu Esports Club was now a daily drama that none of the team members dared to miss. Morning, Lady Boss, Blaze said with a wink as she entered the kitchen in fluffy panda slippers and a pink pajama set that looked criminally cute. Morning, Brother Blaze, she replied sweetly, pouring herself a mug of instant coffee. Mint leaned against the fridge with a bag of frozen dumplings. You're seriously committed. If I had half your courage, I'd have seduced half the gaming world by now. I don't need to seduce the gaming world, Jiaoyang said with a grin. Just your boss. That very boss entered the kitchen at that exact moment, bleary-eyed and grim. Jiaoyang gave him her most innocent smile. He blinked once, turned around and walked back out. Beanie clutched his chest. That was savage. Later that day, the team called an emergency meeting in the common room. On the whiteboard, Blaze wrote in huge, dramatic letters, Operation Seduce the Boss. Okay, Mint began, clapping her hands together. Lady Boss wants to win our Ice King's heart. Let's brainstorm. Make him jealous? Echo suggested, flipping through a fashion magazine. Use one of us as a decoy crush. Preferably someone hot, like me. Too risky, said Rock, who was busy unwrapping beef jerky. What if boss bans love inside the club? We're already banned from eating in the training room, Glitch muttered. Let's go with classic seduction, Mint said. New wardrobe. Strategic skin. Casual touches. Jiaoyang, are you comfortable with mild to medium shamelessness? I'm at peace with public humiliation, she declared proudly. By evening, Jiaoyang emerged from her room looking like a character straight out of a live-streaming fantasy. Off-shoulder sweater, denim shorts, and her hair tied in a playful ponytail. The entire club collectively paused. Yichen looked up from his laptop in the living room, and immediately turned back to his screen. She's sparkling, Beanie whispered. She's radiant, Mint added. She's wearing perfume, Glitch noted quietly. Jiaoyang strutted up to the couch and plopped beside Yichen. What are you doing? Reviewing game footage. She leaned closer, subtly. Can I watch with you? He paused. You'll be bored. I'm bored already, she replied cheerfully. He sighed and handed her a spare headset. She slipped it on and watched the screen, pretending to understand anything. For the next half hour she kept her hands politely to herself. Then she accidentally bumped knees. Then she accidentally leaned on his shoulder. Then she fell asleep. Yichen glanced at her. Cheeks flushed, breathing even, completely knocked out. His shoulder tensed. He hesitated, then ever so slightly adjusted to make her more comfortable. Blaze gave Mint a thumbs up from behind the couch. The next day Jiaoyang brought Yichen a protein shake before training. You skipped lunch, she said. I don't drink sugary things. It's mango chia. It has texture, not sweetness. He stared at the shake, then at her. You watched my old interviews, he accused. I did my homework, she said proudly. He took the shake. That night the team gathered again. She made him drink a mango chia shake. That's progress. Blaze said. I told you the accidental physical contact would work. Mint beamed. He still didn't smile, Beanie said sadly. He twitched, Glitch offered. His eyebrow moved up by 0.5 millimeters. Jiaoyang leaned back, sipping milk tea. He's not a final boss. He's a hidden side quest with an S-tier reward. And you're the insane player determined to 100% complete him? Exactly. Outside the room, Gu Yichen stood quietly in the hallway, sipping his mango chia shake. His lips twitched upward for just a second. And just like that, Operation Seduce the Boss hit its first checkpoint. Chapter 3, Bugged Hearts and Broken Consoles. Jiaoyang prided herself on many things. Her ability to bluff at mahjong, her killer Instagram angles, and her talent for reading a room. But apparently, gaming equipment was not her forte. She hadn't meant to touch it. Really, she hadn't. But the sparkling retro console on Gu Yichen's shelf had looked too cool, too tempting. Don't press anything. Beanie had warned as she reached for it. She smiled sweetly and pressed everything. The screen flickered. Then it died. Beanie gasped like someone had unplugged his life support. That's his collector's edition LX88. It's signed. By the original developer. Boss doesn't even let us breathe near it. Jiaoyang froze. Hey. I'll fix it. No problem. 2 hours later, Jiaoyang sat in the club's tech corner, the disassembled console on the table in front of her. Glitch, as always, stood silently nearby, observing her struggle. I bribed you with seaweed snacks to help me, she reminded him. He shrugged. You overestimate what seaweed snacks can achieve. You're my only hope, Glitch. I can't let Yichen kill me. I still have to win him over before that. Glitch finally sighed and knelt beside her. Fine. But only because I don't want to find a new lady boss. Meanwhile, Yichen returned early from a sponsor meeting. He walked in stretched and froze. His shelf was empty. His heart dropped. He stormed into the common area. Beanie shrieked and dove behind the couch. Mint tried to act casual by pretending to vacuum the wall. Where is it? Yichen asked in a deathly calm tone. Rock pointed wordlessly toward the tech room. Yichen entered to find Jiaoyang and Glitch peering into a cracked motherboard. She looked up guiltily. Hi. His jaw clenched. You broke it. In my defense, it was already very delicate. That's not a defense. I panicked. Looked dusty. I tried to clean it. I might have used hand sanitizer. He closed his eyes. Glitch took a silent step back. I can fix it, she said quickly. We're almost done. You are not touching any of my things again, he growled. Jiaoyang stood, fists balled. I was trying to get to know you better. I thought maybe if I understood what you liked, I could, I don't know, be less annoying. Yichen stared at her. She looked flushed, frustrated, and, honestly, a little adorable with smudges of dust on her nose. I know I'm annoying. I know I barged in like a rom-com heroine. But I'm here, okay? I'm trying. For a long second no one spoke. Then Yichen exhaled and looked at Glitch. Can you fix it? Glitch nodded. 85% sure. Fine. He turned to leave but paused. Next time you want to know what I like, just ask. That night, Jiaoyang slipped a note under his door. Said, what do you like? No response. The next morning she found a reply scribbled beneath hers. Peace and quiet. Also lemon tarts. She grinned like she'd won a mini-boss battle. By the end of the week the console was working. Glitch was now her reluctant tech tutor, and Yichen accepted a lemon tart from her hand without complaint. The team watched this development like a thriller series. She's softening him, Mint whispered. He hasn't glared at anyone all day, Blaze confirmed. Beanie pumped his fist. Lady Boss for the win. Back in his room, Gu Yichen sat at his desk, lemon tart half-eaten, wondering why her chaos now felt strangely welcome. Chapter 4. Patch Notes, Heart Edition. The Gu Esports Club was unusually quiet. That was how the team knew something was up. Jiaoyang hadn't launched into a dramatic monologue over breakfast. She hadn't pestered Yichen about lunch. She hadn't even stolen anyone's hoodie by accident. Instead, she'd holed up in her temporary room, laptop open, typing furiously. What's she doing? Beanie whispered to Mint. Research apparently, Mint whispered back. On Boss's old interviews, gaming habits, snack preferences, zodiac chart, birth hour, and probably his blood type. She's evolving, Glitch said solemnly. She's installing the romance patch. Inside her room Jiaoyang was plotting. The console disaster had been a wake-up call. Her shameless charm tactics needed upgrading. The boss wasn't some cliched Sundar male lead. He was a precision-driven, schedule-obsessed, sleep-deprived workaholic with zero tolerance for chaos. So she decided to take a new route. Competence. 2 days later Yichen walked into the training room to find her seated beside Echo, holding a controller like it was sacred. She's teaching me how to support, Jiaoyang said. You don't play games, he replied. I do now. I watched 47 hours of strategy streams. I made notes. Color-coded ones. Echo beamed. She's a surprisingly good shot caller. Better than Blaze on a sugar crash. Hey! Blaze shouted from the next room. Yichen didn't say anything. But later that night when he checked the team analytics he saw a new profile listed as Lady Boss under ranked diamond tier in support coordination drills. He blinked. She was serious. The next phase of Jiaoyang's updated campaign? Respect the schedule. She woke up early. She didn't hover. She stopped sneaking into Yichen's room with egg tarts at midnight, though she did leave them in the fridge with sticky notes. She even started managing the team's delivery schedule, organizing their chaotic snack cupboard, and threatening to uninstall food delivery apps if anyone skipped meals. The team was horrified. She's turning into a responsible adult, Rock whispered. Is this the second female lead redemption arc? Blaze asked. She's not the villain, Mint said. She's the surprise DLC we didn't know we needed. One afternoon Yichen stepped into the common area and paused. Jiaoyang was asleep on the couch, arms wrapped around a strategy guidebook, glasses crooked, hair messily pinned up. He stared. There was no chaos. Just her. Quiet, persistent, determined. He exhaled. She had stopped chasing him. And somehow he had started noticing her more. That evening as she was heading to her room, she found a note stuck to her door. It read, "Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Private server match. You, me and 3 randoms. Let's see what you've learned. Signed, Gu Yichen." She squealed so loudly Blaze dropped his ramen. The next day at exactly 4 p.m. Jiaoyang logged in. He was already waiting. They didn't talk much. But they won. Match after match. Their rhythm, clean. Their synergy, flawless. After the final game he sent her a message. "Guy, you're better than I thought. Lady Bossy, I'm full of surprises. Guy, I know." And Jiaoyang, sitting alone in the dim glow of the monitor, smiled like she'd just cleared the final level of the hardest game. Patch complete. Next, romance unlock pending. Chapter 5. The Ex-Girlfriend Side Quest. It was a bright Tuesday morning when Chaos walked through the front door, on stiletto heels. Tall, poised, and dangerously pretty, Lin Yichen entered the Gu Esports Club with the confidence of someone who had once been the center of Gu Yichen's universe. "Hello, boys," she purred, sunglasses perched atop her perfectly coiffed head. "Is Yichen around?" Beanie choked on his cereal. Blaze dropped his energy drink. Glitch blinked once, then hid behind a gaming chair. "Who?" Jiaoyang started. Mint whispered from the side, "That's the ex. The one who left him for a corporate heir and an imported cat." "Ah." Jiaoyang stood straighter. Boss battle, activated. Yichen walked into the living room with his usual poker face. He froze when he saw Lin Yichen. "Yuyen." "Yichen," she said sweetly, walking toward him like a slow-motion drama scene. "Long time no see." Jiaoyang stepped aside but not far. Lin Yichen glanced her way then back at Yichen. "I came to see how you're doing. I heard your team's doing well. You look healthy." He raised an eyebrow. "I am." She gave him a wistful smile. "I thought maybe we could talk. In private." Yichen glanced at Jiaoyang. Something in her face must have said, "Don't you dare," because his answer was swift. "I'm busy." The team, watching from every corner and couch, collectively gasped. Lin Yichen's smile twitched. "Just one coffee. For old time's sake." "No thanks," he said, then turned to Jiaoyang. "Can you help me with those roster reviews now?" Jiaoyang blinked, then nodded. "Of course, boss." They walked off together, heads close. Lin Yichen stood alone in the middle of the room. "Harsh," Beanie whispered. "She deserves it," Mint hissed. She called his old gaming career childish in an interview. Later that evening, Jiaoyang found Yichen in the rooftop garden, sitting on a bench with a soda in hand. She sat beside him, silent for a moment. "So," she began, "your ex is pretty." He didn't look at her. "She was my first serious relationship." "And your first heartbreak?" He gave a small nod. "She didn't believe in what I wanted to build," he said. "Said gaming wouldn't take me anywhere. That I was throwing away my family name." Jiaoyang glanced at him. "And yet here you are. Top team in the country. Running a club with a girl who leaves you egg tarts." He chuckled. "Yeah. Life's weird." She nudged him gently. Did seeing her stir up anything? He finally looked at her. Not what she wanted it to. They sat in comfortable silence for a while. Then he added, "Thanks for earlier." "For what?" "For staying." Jiaoyang smiled, heart thumping. "You're welcome. I'm not going anywhere." The team held another late-night huddle. "I can't believe Boss dissed the ex for Lady Boss," Blaze whispered. "She won a critical side quest," Mint declared. "This is S-tier storyline stuff," Rock added. "Now we just need the kiss scene," Beanie sighed dreamily. The next day Lin Yichen came back. One last time. This time Jiaoyang intercepted her at the door. "Yichen's busy." "I'm not here for him," Lin Yichen said with a smile. "I'm here to say goodbye. I wanted to tell you personally, good luck. He never listened to me, but maybe he'll listen to you." Jiaoyang tilted her head. "Thanks. He listens now. Especially when I shout." They shared a polite, tense smile. As Lin Yichen walked away, Jiaoyang exhaled. Then turned to see Yichen leaning against the wall nearby. "You let me handle it," she said. "I knew you would." He walked over, paused. Then, almost like a glitch in his own programming, he ruffled her hair gently. "Let me know when you're ready to tackle the next level," he said, voice soft. Jiaoyang's heart skipped a beat. "Oh," she grinned, "I'm already grinding EXP. Chapter 6. One Bed, Two Controllers. The Gu Esports Club was preparing for the annual national training camp, a grueling 5-day boot camp where top-tier teams competed, sparred, and tried not to kill each other in confined spaces. And due to a last-minute venue change, the entire Gu club would be sharing a luxury villa with another team. "Is this legal?" Jiaoyang asked, staring at the room list. "There was a double booking," explained the camp organizer. "But the villa's big. You'll manage." Jiaoyang's name was right there, next to Gu Yichen's. "One room. One bed." She nearly dropped the clipboard. "It's fine," Yichen said, tossing his bag onto the bed like this was no big deal. Jiaoyang hovered near the door like it had a security alarm. "One bed. One bed. We've both seen worse. We sleep on opposite ends. This isn't a battlefield, General Gu." "It might as well be." They stared at the bed like it was a wild animal. Then Yichen sighed, picked up a pillow and walked toward the couch. "Wait," Jiaoyang said, grabbing his wrist. "You're seriously giving me the bed? You've been training nonstop. You deserve the rest." Her brain short-circuited. This man, who once considered her the physical embodiment of a power outage, was giving up his bed for her? That night she sat on the edge of the bed texting Mint. "Jiaoyang, emergency. Boss is being nice." Mint. "Emotional damage unlocked?" "Jiaoyang, he gave me the bed. The actual bed. With pillows. Like a gentleman." Mint. "Proceed with caution. This is rare boss-level behavior. Do not spook him." Day 2 of training camp was brutal. Endless matches, strategy meetings, and surprise drills. Jiaoyang held her own. She even outsupported a national-level captain. Back at the villa, she found Yichen icing his wrist. She sat beside him and pulled the ice pack away gently. "You're pushing too hard." "I'm fine. You always say that when you're limping like an old man." He chuckled. "Don't tell the team. They still think I'm invincible." She carefully wrapped his wrist with a soft bandage. Her fingers brushed his skin. Neither of them moved. That night the power went out. And the emergency backup didn't kick in. "Perfect," Jiaoyang muttered, fumbling for her phone flashlight. She found Yichen on the couch, already awake. "There's no air con. It's like a sauna in here," she groaned. Yichen stood. "Fine. Truce. Let's both take the bed." Her eyes widened. "Together. I trust you not to drool. I make no promises." They lay side by side in the dark, tension so thick you could slice it with a mousepad. "You always this quiet at night?" she whispered. "Yes. I can tell. You're the type who thinks pillow talk is an optional setting." He huffed a laugh. "You always this chatty?" "Only when I'm trying not to freak out." Pause. "You're not freaking out." "I am," she said honestly. "Just very attractively." Silence again. Then he turned toward her. "You're different than I expected." She blinked. "How so?" "I thought you were just a spoiled rich girl who didn't know how to take no for an answer. And now I know you're a stubborn woman with ridiculous determination, who's kind, a little chaotic, and better at this than anyone expected." Her breath caught. "Also," he added, "you snore a little." She shoved a pillow into his face. The next morning the team saw them walking out of the room. Together. Everyone froze. Beanie dropped his phone. Blaze spat his juice. Rock walked into a door. "Good morning," Jiaoyang said sweetly. He nodded, calm as ever. "We slept fine." Mint whispered, "Did they soft launch a relationship?" "Don't ask questions," Beanie said reverently. "Just enjoy the content." Chapter 7. Jealousy buff activated. After the training camp, the Gu Esports Club returned to their headquarters with sore muscles, new strategies, and a distinct change in atmosphere, mostly revolving around their boss and their unofficial lady boss. Everyone noticed it. Yichen started bringing back extra pastries when he got coffee. Jiaoyang stopped calling him iceberg, mostly. And the tension between them had shifted, from Cold War to slow burn. It was a delicate thing, this may be something between them. And it was about to be tested. Why is there a male model in our dormitory? Blaze whispered. Maybe the fashion industry merged with esports? Beanie offered. Standing in the entryway was a tall, dashing man with perfectly styled hair and an expensive camera slung over his shoulder. His name was Xiaolin, and he greeted Jiaoyang with a warm smile and 2 air kisses. "Jiao Jiao," he said. "You look stunning. Even in sweatpants." The team stared in stunned silence. Yichen walked in, paused mid-step. Xiaolin turned, smiling. "Ah, you must be the famous boss Gu. I've heard so much about you. Jiao Jiao talks about you constantly." "She does?" Yichen asked, deadpan. "Oh yes. She says you're broody but brilliant." Jiaoyang turned pink. "Xiaolin." "What?" he said innocently. "I'm here to shoot your new campaign, remember?" "She models." Rock-mouthed. "She's multi-classed," Mint whispered back. Xiaolin spent the day trailing Jiaoyang, adjusting lights, complimenting her bone structure, and occasionally feeding her sliced fruit. The team watched in increasing horror. Yichen said nothing. Until lunch. "You seem close," he said casually when Jiaoyang sat beside him. She blinked. "Me and Xiaolin? We've known each other since middle school. He's basically my older brother." "He doesn't act like a brother." "Are you jealous?" she asked, tilting her head. "No," he said. "Just curious how many brothers you have who try to spoon-feed you strawberries." He grinned. "Not many. But you're cute when you're brooding." He gave her a look. "I'm always brooding." "Exactly." That evening, Xiaolin wrapped up his shoot and prepared to leave. "Thank you for the hospitality," he told the team. "And thank you, Boss Gu, for not throwing me out a window." Yichen gave a tight smile. "My pleasure." Xiaolin turned to Jiaoyang. "Behave yourself. Don't bully this one too much." "I only bully people I like," she said brightly. Xiaolin gave Yichen one last look. "She's a handful. But worth it." Then he left. Back in the living room, the team held an emergency gossip session. "Boss was fuming," Beanie said. "He was so close to throwing hands during the strawberry moment," Blaze added. "I've never seen that vein in his forehead before," Mint said. "Incredible." Later that night, Jiaoyang found Yichen in the club office, pretending to review match footage. She leaned against the desk. "Still brooding?" "I don't brood." "You absolutely do. Want me to bring strawberries next time?" He gave her a look that could freeze lava. "Not funny." She walked closer. "You know I like you, right?" He looked at her. Really looked. "I know," he said quietly. "And you like me." "Maybe." She smiled. "That's okay. I'm very patient. You're also very loud." She leaned in, eyes playful. "You like that too." He didn't deny it. Instead, he touched her hand. Just briefly. Jealousy, deactivated. Mutual crushing, confirmed. Final boss romance, loading. Chapter 8. Final round, first kiss. The National Esports Grand Finals. Bright lights. Deafening cheers. A stadium packed with fans and cameras broadcasting to millions. Team Gu was set to face their biggest rivals, Team Tempest, in a best-of-5 match that would decide the championship. For once, it wasn't Jiaoyang causing the most noise in the Gu Club HQ. It was the adrenaline, the pressure, the weight of everything they trained for. And maybe, just maybe, the weight of unsaid words. Backstage, Yichen was quiet. Too quiet. Jiaoyang found him behind the curtains, looking at the roaring crowd. "You okay?" she asked. He nodded. "Just breathing." She bumped his arm. "You're not alone, you know. We've got this." He looked at her, then something intense in his eyes. "I know." Pause. "And after we win," she added, "I'm cashing in on my reward." He raised an eyebrow. "What reward?" "You'll see." The games were brutal. Round 1. Tempest. Clean sweep. Round 2. Gu Club. Mint pulled a clutch save in overtime. Round 3. Tempest. Barely. Round 4. Gu Club. Jiaoyang's support play was a masterpiece of chaos and strategy. It came down to round 5. Tension was thick. Every mouse click, every call out, every pixel mattered. Yichen led the final charge with precision. Beanie's sniper shot landed. Rock tanked the final hit. Victory! The stadium erupted. Confetti rained down. Fans screamed. Cameras flashed. The team tackled Yichen in a group hug. Mint wept dramatically into Jiaoyang's shoulder. Blaze tried to climb the stage monitor in triumph. In the middle of the chaos, Jiaoyang grabbed Yichen's sleeve and pulled him aside. "Now," she said breathlessly. "About my reward." He blinked. "You're really going to ask now?" "Yes." "Fine," he said half laughing. "What do you want?" She rose on tiptoes and kissed him. Not a quick peck. A real proper kiss. One that said, "You've annoyed me, challenged me, made me feel like a lunatic. But you're also everything I want." The crowd kept cheering, unaware. The team saw though. Mint screamed. Beanie fainted. Blaze declared the kiss a national treasure. Yichen pulled back slightly dazed. "You really don't know how to quit, do you?" "Never," she said with a grin. Weeks later, a new sign was hung above the Gu Esports Club's front door. Lady Boss approved. Inside, Jiaoyang spun in Yichen's gaming chair while the team shouted over dinner delivery orders. Yichen glanced at her, lips twitching. "Are you going to take over the team next?" "I already have," she said smugly. He leaned down and kissed her again. "Guess I don't mind being conquered." And that was how the rebellious heir, the reluctant CO, and the most persistent girl in the world found their happy ending. In a gaming chair surrounded by chaos with a kiss and a team who cheered them on.